Hey everyone. Hey Selena. Haven't seen you for a bit. And welcome everyone to the Scuttlebot. And today's topic is rather important one. And what are the tips and tricks for eye care? Is that right, Selena?
Yes, that's absolutely true.
Fantastic. Now,
yeah.
I'll throw you a rather left field question first. All right. And I've been rather intrigued by this. Now, with the advance in medical treatment and technology, and with microsurgery, is it at all possible to replace one's eyeball?
You could with the cosmetic eyes, but it's like fake eyes. So there's like.
Can I do a transplant?
You can, but with a fake eyes, so you no longer can use that side of the eyes.
So assuming I got someone's eyeball and I can't just do a surgery and plug in someone's eyeball and have it work again. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so far, according to the research. But I believe in the future, somewhere in the future, people can do that, but not now.
Okay, all right, yeah, all right. Sorry, I jumped the gun a little bit, but yeah, I've always thought about if I can replace my eyeball. Now, what are the common type of eye disorders or diseases, Selena?
I will talk through that in my following presentation. So
Sure.
just let me introduce a bit about myself. Can the producer play the first slide of the PPT? Yes, thank you. Just a little bit about myself. I'm a current physiotherapy student, and as Jesse mentioned previously, today's focus is to share with everyone some tips and tricks for eye care. And as I mentioned in the last episode of this channel, most people have to spend quite a long time each day in front of a screen or monitor to get our work done or study done every day. So including myself and Marv, unfortunately he is not here today, as he complained in the last episode, not only his back sore, but his eyes gets really uncomfortable over time after long use of electrical devices. So I think today's health session is a good chance to introduce some tips and tricks for that. Before I explain anything further, let's review the disclaimer for this health section. Next slide, please. The information presented here are for your information only, and it is not intended to be used as medical advice, and it is not intended to be used to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease, nor should it be used for therapeutic purposes or as a substitute for your own health professional's advice. We do not accept any liability for any injury, loss, or damage incurred by the use or reliance on the information provided here. Next one, please. So, as Jesse asked before, I've got quite a few common eye disorders or diseases here to present to everyone. So the first three are myopia. It's also commonly known as short eye-sighted. So people can see things in front of them, like close to them clearly, but they can't see the further objects in the background clearly. And the dry eyes, very straightforward. Just you feel eyes are dry after every time you use it. And we got cataract, age-related macular degeneration, presbyopia, etc. I will say the list can go on and on, but today we're going to focus only on myopia and dry eyes, as marked in red. Do you have any other questions, Jesse?
Yes, I do, and I'm quite sure it will not be appreciated by many. Now, dry eyes. So if someone were to use contact lens, well, for cosmetic purposes or for, we have lens with different colors. So, and for really for beauty purposes. So is that a major cause of dry eyes?
It could, and normally the suggestion from eye specialists will say these people group are not suitable. Like people who have already have dry eyes are not suitable to wear contact lenses anymore because it will cause the symptoms even worse.
Fantastic, thank you. Now bring us through. I'm all ears.
Yep, can I have the slide back? So next slide, please. Now we're just going to start with myopia. It's also known as near eye-sighted or short eye-sighted, which are the people I know with. People with near eye-sighted, like myself, can see near objects clearly, but objects further away in the background will appear blurry. And short eye-sighted usually results from the eyeball being too long or oval-shaped rather than round, like the circular shape people normally have, or as shown on the slide. It may also result from the curve of the cornea being too steep. These changes result in light shining through to a point in front of the retina and crossing. The retina is the yellow layer as shown on the image at the bottom of the slide. The messages sent from the retina to the brain are perceived as blurry, which require glasses to relocate the light back to the correct spot, as shown on the normal vision section of the image. But please note that once becoming near eye-sighted or get myopia, it can either get worse or maintain the same, but can't be better anymore, except from undergoing refractive surgery. So that's the very first question Jesse asked previously about the eyeball transplant. You can fix short eye-sighted with refractive surgery, but we can't do transplant for now. Hopefully we can do in the future, then people can fix the eye problem like in one go. So please take care of our eyes. I also put two large categories of causes of myopia. So for the first one is congenital myopia, meaning some people may get myopia at very young age, or even they can get it at once they are born, because one or both of their parents have myopia. It could happen because of the genetic. The second category is the potential risk factors. So myopia can be caused by accumulation of a group of risk factors in daily living, which leads to ciliary muscle fatigue. The ciliary muscles I just mentioned are the tiny muscles that hold our lenses. I got the image on the upper right corner of the slide. The pink parts, the two little pink parts are the ciliary muscle. When the ciliary muscle contracts, they squeeze our lenses and make them thicker, so we can see the nearer objects. Vice versa, if the muscles relax, we can see the objects in the further of the background. Once the ciliary muscle becomes fatigued, they no longer have the ability to relax and make the lenses thinner. Therefore, we can no longer see further objects without the glasses. So that's the two main causes of myopia. Let's talk about the risk factors that can contribute to near eye-sighted. Next slide, please. So here are the risk factors. There are quite a few on the slide. Here we go. Each of them may not directly cause myopia, but accumulation of them can make a possibility of getting myopia much higher. So the first one I want to say is the genetic one. So many people may get or can easily get myopia from their parents because it's just in a gene, and it's passed from their parents. They can't do anything about that except from refractive surgery. Secondly, we have the lack of outdoor activities or exercises, meaning lack of natural sunlight. Natural sunlight can prevent us from short eyesighted. But interestingly, the UV light, the ultraviolet light in the natural sunlight can provide some damages to our eyes. So we should do something to prevent that as well. The next one, we have poor hygiene. So our hands must be remained washed when touching eyes, except especially when people need to put on contact lenses, because the unwashed hands may cause bacteria or viral infection of the eyes. The next one will be inappropriate spectacles. Most people probably know that we shouldn't wear someone else's glasses, as different people have different eyesight. But we should also be aware that if we don't do eye examination regularly, our own glasses may not be appropriate to ourselves, and this can make our eyesight worse as well. And we got a few others, such as single use of eyes for too long without breaks, dim environment, and stare at small screens for too long. The rest of them are all causing ciliary muscle fatigue, which then causes us can't see further objects clearly. So that's the end of all I have to say for myopia. Next slide, please.
Sorry, Selena, if I can jump in here, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to ask you two questions. So we often hear, like, oh, look at the greeneries, look at the greeneries. So just based on what you're saying, where the D3, where the sun, where the effect of the sun has, the positive effect the sun has on the eyes. So it's actually the sunlight that help the eyes relax or help the eyes recover, not the green. Is it the color green or is it the sunlight that you just mentioned to us?
I will say both. Sunlight is the one I just mentioned, but the green is also a useful one as well, because I do remember that I think green can trigger the nerve perceived systems, which can help us relax as well.
Okay, I'm going to ask. Sorry, I'm going to
yep.
ask a dumb. I'm going to ask a dumb question here. Okay, so assuming if instead of looking at the greeneries, I look at a green cloth or a green photo of a greenery, would the effect be the same?
Could be. But the point is, if you look at, like, for example, a tree like further outside of the window, that will be a even better choice, because you're relaxing the muscles at the same time and perceiving brain colors from the natural. Yeah, so it will be a much better choice rather than seeing something green like in front of you, just in front of you.
Okay, all right. Now I have another dumb question for you, because I used to play contact sport. I used to play rugby, right? And because of the close contact, you go into a scrum and then you go into the scrum and you go and literally we have people who has like you get punched in the eyeball and whatever. So is that something that, or rather, my question is, when I'm looking at the graph or the photo that you have shown us, the tiny little sinews of strands of muscle that's holding the eyeball, it looks so fragile.
Mm-hmm.
So which means, how much, say, assuming, we go to IKEA, right? And you have the chair that's stress test for 1,000 times. I know it's a dumb question. Does it mean then that if the eyeball gets contact, impact over 1,000 times, that these sinews or these tissues will weaken? Is there such a study?
I'm not too sure about it, but like if you get direct attacked on your eyeball, you'll definitely get some damages like throughout the whole eyeball, not only the muscles. because the muscles are on the side. The lenses, the transparent lenses are in the middle, so they might be the main thing that receive all the damages, I will say.
Yeah. It's quite an amazing piece of anatomy, isn't it? It's just amazing.
Yes, yeah. Thank you for all your questions, though.
Yeah. All right, go on, please.
Yep. So now we can start with the dry eyes. So except from myopia, dry eyes is quite common eye condition as well. So people may be quite familiar with this condition due to long-term usage of computer or any other electrical devices. The common symptoms of dry eyes are long-term stinging, burning, or scratching sensation in our eyes, or can also have, some people may have eye redness, itchiness, sensitive to light, difficulty wearing contact lenses. As I mentioned previously to answer Jesse's question, these group of people are normally not suitable for contact lenses. So what actually causes dry eyes? I've got an image at the right-hand side. Everyone have a lacrimal gland, also known as tear gland, at the upper right. It on the image is upper right, but if it's a right eye, then it's on the other opposite side. Usually, the tear gland provides adequate lubrication to your eyes, which means it provides a lot of fluid. So the first main reason of causing dry eyes is inadequate lubrications or fluid. Unfortunately, when our tears aren't able to provide adequate fluid for whatever reason, dry eyes will occur. And the next one will be medications. Medications such as antihistamines, this one is normally used for allergies or for now in Sydney and Melbourne will be hay fever. Hormone replacement therapy, especially for women who have menopause or people who have removed their sexual organ, they might require that. And Parkinson's disease related medications as well. And also we've got antidepressants, which normally used for mental health issues, etc. Lastly, we got age. So there's higher likelihood to have dry eyes during natural aging, meaning when people their age start increasing, they have higher chance to get dry eyes as well. Next slide, please. Yep.
Sorry. Another
That's
dumb.
all right.
Tonight is the night of dumb questions. All right. So and this question will be right up your alley. Now, if the muscles get damaged or gets impact, right? You can use cold press or hot thermal treatment to soothe the muscle and for it to recover. So my question then is, for dry eyes, aren't there some kind of a physiotherapy type of things for dry eyes or for eye issues?
Normally we'll suggest eye drops. We can't do anything, we can't just massage the tear gland to get more fluids in eyes. But I will explain further in our tips and tricks slide.
Sure.
At the end.
Fantastic. Thank you. Go on.
That's all right. Okay. Can I have the slide back? Yep. Thank you. So we've got the risk factors here, just 4, but there are quite a few others that can relate to that as well. So the first one would be over the age of 50. As mentioned previously, age is quite a big contribution to dry eyes. The production of tears decrease every year. So dry eyes are quite common in older population. and we've got sex or gender as well. Unfortunately, women like myself are more likely to have dry eyes, especially for women who are experiencing hormonal changes, such as menopause or pregnancy. And we've got food deficiency, and I put vitamin deficiency, specifically vitamin A deficiency, in daily diet. And some example of food rich in vitamin A are animal liver, carrots, and broccoli, and etc. And there will be a deficiency in terms of omega-3 fatty acids as well. I have a whole slide, a table, to be more specific, dedicated to nutrition supply for eye care in the following sites as well. Lastly, we have the contact lenses slash refractive surgery. People who have previous history of wearing contact lenses and or have refractive surgery. So the surgery I explained previously is to fix myopia or hyperopia, to fix the eyesight, usually have higher chance to get dry eyes. And one of them, single of the risk factors or multiple of them coming together will lead to higher chance of getting dry eyes. Okay, next slide, please. So that's the full table of nutritional supply for eye care I mentioned previously. We've got vitamin A, C, E, zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, and lutein as well. They might be, I can just say might be helpful for eye care, but people can use this as a reference when cooking. There are more and more researchers coming up to showing that nutritional supplies are very important for eyes as well. Next slide, please. Here we go. We got the tips and tricks for eye care here. There are quite a lot, and the most important one I put at first is regular breaks. If possible, give our eyes a break every 20 to 30 minutes by looking at something further for 20 seconds, or looking at something further in green is even better. The time is not, don't have to strict on the time I just mentioned. Could just need to remember that take some breaks for your long-term working or studying. The second one is use larger screens or monitors. If I know a lot of people are required to read or work for a long time, like in front of a laptop or even mobile phone, try to, if possible, try to use a larger screen. So if you start with mobile phone, can skip to a laptop or even projector if possible. And we have used larger font size if possible. So set the font size for your mobile phone, laptop, or any other electrical devices to the larger ones to avoid eye fatigue, especially when using something with small screens. Not only older population consider this, but also young generations as well, because our eyesight can only go worse and worse unless undergoes refractive surgery. However, then, even though some people go through refractive surgery, there can still be the chance to wear glasses again if eye care is inadequate after the surgery. And then we have the anti-blue light. I personally wear glasses, so I know that if you ask the staff in the shop that you want to add anti-blue lights material, then you can just get like a combo of glasses and anti-blue light glasses, which is a really good choice. But for people who don't wear glasses, anti-blue light screen protector can also be another choice as well. And then we have sunglasses. Wear sunglasses is very important as well. Like especially for people like us living in countries with high UV lights like Australia. Although I did mention natural lights can prevent us from getting myopia, the UV lights, the ultraviolet light in the natural sunlight is the one that can actually cause damages to our eyes. So people who have already wearing glasses like me, as shown on the slides, people can try to choose the light sensitive glasses. So the glasses will change the color to darker ones when you walk outside outside in the sun. And even sometimes if the lights indoor are too strong, it can also change their colors to protect your eyes as well. And I got a few tips and tricks for dry eye specifically, and here's the answers for your question, Jessie. For people with dry eyes, regular usage of eye drops can be useful, and use air humidifiers, especially for countries that are very dry like Australia, and avoid direct airflow, such as the wind or the blow dryers and air conditioners. They all will be good ways to relieve the symptoms of dry eyes. And especially for the eye drops, I know in Australia, we like in chemist warehouse or shops like that, there are quite a lot of tries of different brands. They all treat dry eyes, surprisingly. Last but not least, we've got regular eye examinations. So here's just this suggestion of visiting local optometrists for regularly. And this is not only for checking eyesight, but also include a general health check for eyes. They have the machines to observe the blood vessels and the colors, and even they take pictures, which is really nice, which can help health providers. Firstly, the optometrist, but if you have any eye conditions, consult with your general practitioners to detect the eye conditions at earlier stage, and then provide adequate care and treatment as soon as possible. So here, everything I have to share for today's topic. Do you have any other questions, Jesse?
Yeah. I'll just share from my own experience. While I was working in Shanghai, I come across a rather good acupuncturist, and he had a special, and I literally look like a panda. I sleep only 3 hours every day for a year, and so I was like the panda ambassador. And he did a treatment on me. Actually, he used this, like kind of eye smoke treatment on my eyes, and of course acupuncture. Now, I don't know if you guys, viewers, whether you believe in acupuncture or not, but the body has a certain flow of energy or the flow, and it works actually. It worked for me. All right. And the other bit is just a side topic. Sometimes when you look at someone in the eye, and literally you could see the lumens in the eyes, or you could see the dullness. The eyes are very dull or really bright. And I don't know if it has to do with anything else, but what I do know is the state of mind. If a person, because they say there's a sage word that says the adage, right? The eyes are windows to the soul. And if the soul is bright, your eyes are bright. And if you dwell on pessimism, especially in today's world, if you dwell on pessimism, you get dull and your eyes become dull. And I don't think science has an explanation for that. But I've spoken to astrophysicists and physicists, and they are of the opinion that there are many things in the world that they cannot explain, but it is there. So beyond taking care of your eyes, I thank you, Selena, for showing me all the nutrients, the vitamins. Yeah, and I was ticking them off. Yes, cantaloupe, my favorite. Yeah, strawberries there. And you know, I think, and why I asked that, the eye, because apparently even for stem cell therapy, you cannot regenerate the eye. So you only have the pair of eyes, and no matter how good the camera is, it can never capture the linear dynamic range of lights. That's why the camera, when we saw the scenery and captured the shot does not, it doesn't, you know, justify that scenery, the beauty, because the eye could capture the way the lights travel. For a phone and for our eyes are so different now. Eyes capture the dynamic range of, you know, lights instead of just linear. And all I'm saying is, you know, you have a pair of eyes, take care of that, because you really do only have that pair of eyes. And thanks, Selena, for your sharing today, because I think it's important, especially, you know, for people like us with kids. And it's so easy for us to flick them off and go like, oh, okay, go watch the iPad, you know, and leave me alone. And then, so thank you very much, Selena, for that.
That's all right. Thank you for all your questions. There are no such dumb questions. They're all really good. Thanks so much for that.
Yeah, I got some more dumb questions, but we'll save it for another time. All right. So that's all we have for our viewers today, Selena.
Yep, that's all I have to say.
All right. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. And we shall say goodbye to our viewers then.